The jungle is still dark when you open your eyes. The air is thick and warm, heavy with the smell of copal smoke. You are a priest of the great city of Chichén Itzá. It is the 9th century, and the gods have not yet abandoned this world. You rise from your woven mat before anyone else in the temple complex. Your body is lean and marked with ritual scarifications along your arms. You dress in a white cotton robe and tie a jade bead necklace at your throat. The city below the temple pyramid is silent and barely visible in the mist. You climb the steep stone steps of the pyramid to greet the sun. Each step is a prayer, each breath an offering to the sky above. The horizon turns pale gold as the first light breaks over the jungle canopy. You raise your arms and speak the morning invocation in a low, steady voice. The words are ancient, learned before you could hold a blade. Below, the first torches of the city begin to flicker to life. You watch the light spread across the great plaza like water filling a bowl. The pyramid beneath your feet hums with something that feels older than stone. You descend as the city wakes, stepping carefully on the worn limestone. Acolytes are already burning incense at the base of the pyramid. They bow as you pass, eyes low, hands pressed flat against their chests. The smell of wood smoke and roasting maize drifts from the nearby quarters. You do not eat yet. The morning ritual requires an empty stomach. Your first task is to read the sacred calendar kept in the inner sanctum. The room is small, dim, and painted red from floor to ceiling. Glyphs cover every surface, dense and precise as a city made of meaning. You trace the date with one finger. It is a significant day. A solar alignment will occur at midday, and the ceremony must be perfect. You call your senior acolytes and assign each one a role in the ritual. Their faces are serious, focused, carrying the weight of what comes next. You walk the ceremonial ball court in the early morning cool. The stone rings high on the walls are pale and still in the soft light. You remember watching a game here as a child, your heart hammering in your chest. The players who win bring glory. Those who lose bring something else entirely. You do not linger on that thought. The market is beginning to fill at the edge of the great plaza. Merchants lay out cacao beans, dried chilies, jade pendants, and obsidian blades. People move quietly, respectfully, aware that a ceremony is coming. A woman offers you a small clay figure of the rain god Chak. You accept it with both hands and carry it back toward the temple. By mid-morning, the heat is beginning to press down on everything. You return to the inner sanctum to prepare the sacred objects. The obsidian mirror is unwrapped from its cloth and placed on the stone altar. You arrange offerings: cacao, rubber, a carved wooden serpent, palm leaves. Every object has a position, a meaning, a consequence if misplaced. You paint your face in deep blue, the color of sacrifice, of sky, of water. The pigment is cold on your skin and smells of crushed mineral and resin. Your hands are steady as you finish the preparation. Outside, the crowd is beginning to gather at the foot of the pyramid. Hundreds of people fill the plaza, dressed in their finest woven cloth. The sound rises like a low tide, voices, drums, the shuffle of sandaled feet. You stand at the top and look down at all of them looking up at you. The sun climbs higher and the shadows shrink toward nothing. You feel the alignment approaching like a pressure behind your eyes. The drumming begins. Slow, deep, resonant as thunder underground. You begin the descent, this time facing outward toward the crowd below. Each step downward is deliberate, unhurried, seen by everyone. The chanting starts somewhere in the crowd and spreads outward like ripples. At the base of the pyramid, the ceremonial space has been cleared and marked. A stone basin holds copal incense already burning in thick white coils. You take your place at the center and raise both arms above your head. The crowd falls silent all at once, as if the sound has been swallowed. The sun reaches its zenith and the shadow of the pyramid vanishes completely. For one moment, the entire city exists in pure, flat, vertical light. You speak the midday prayer in a voice that carries across the plaza. The words ask the sun to continue its journey, to not abandon the world. The drums answer you. 3 slow strikes, then silence. An acolyte brings forward the prepared offering on a carved wooden platform. You perform the ritual with precision, with gravity, with practiced calm. The crowd watches without moving, without sound, barely breathing. When it is complete, the drums begin again. Faster now, celebratory. The tension breaks and the people exhale together like a single organism. You allow yourself one small breath of relief before your expression returns to stone. The afternoon ceremony concludes with a procession around the great plaza. You walk at the front, flanked by acolytes, carrying incense and feathered standards. Children press close to the edge of the path to see your painted face. One small boy reaches out and almost touches the hem of your robe. His mother pulls him back with wide eyes and a whispered apology. You give no sign that you noticed, but you did. The procession ends at the sacred cenote at the edge of the city. The water below is dark green and impossibly deep, disappearing into the earth. You offer cacao and jade into the water with a low, quiet incantation. The offerings vanish below the surface without a sound. The late afternoon light turns the limestone walls amber and gold. You return to the temple complex as the heat of the day finally begins to soften. The acolytes clean and rewrap the sacred objects in silence. You sit alone in the inner sanctum and eat your first meal of the day. It is simple. Maize, black beans, a small piece of dried fish. You eat slowly, tasting each thing, saying nothing. Through the narrow stone window, you watch the sun descend toward the jungle. The shadows lengthen across the plaza, and the crowd disperses toward their homes. The city settles into the easy rhythm of early evening. Cooking fires glow in the residential quarters below. The smell of roasting maize and chili rises again, familiar and grounding. You walk the perimeter of the temple platform as the stars begin to appear. The sky here is immense, unpolluted, unbroken, infinite. You locate the star cluster the calendar calls the turtle, low on the horizon. It is exactly where it should be, exactly on time. You feel something close to satisfaction, though you would not name it that. The gods are fed, the alignment was honored, the city is intact for another day. Outside, the jungle is absolute and old and completely indifferent. The jungle beyond the city speaks in its nighttime language. Insects, frogs, wind. You stand at the edge of the pyramid platform and listen to all of it. Below you, the last torches of the plaza are extinguished one by one. The great city of Chichén Itzá grows dark and quiet and immense. You think about the calendar. How many days have passed? How many remain? The numbers are precise, and they do not lie, and they do not comfort. You return to your mat inside the sanctum and lie down without ceremony. The copal smoke still lingers in the warm stone air around you. You close your eyes and the city breathes around you in the dark.